What's up, guys, and welcome to Go for Lunch Rocketry. Today we're going to be building our first build on this channel, and it's going to be the Estes Starlight. Now, of course, I know it's limited edition. Some guys might be butthurt that I'm building this rocket, but there's a reason. First of all, I bought two of them, one to keep and one to build. But I also laid out a row of 10 rockets. Told my daughter which one should be the first build on the channel. And lo and behold, she picked the Starlight. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to build a Starlight. Alright, so first things first. You always want to get your instructions. Do a quick inventory check. And I mean, it's a intermediate kit. It's pretty standard. You got your nose cones. This kit came with a balsa nose cone and a plastic. I'm not going to use this one, so I'm going to set this to the side. I'm going to use this guy right here. You can see you got your shock cords, your engine mount tubes. Here's the rest of the nose cone. You got your launch lug, parachute, engine mount clip. This washer and this eye bolt is for the balsa nose cone. Like I said, we're not going to use that. The only thing we're going to use out this pack is the engine hook. You have your rings, your body tube, and all your fins. So we have a complete kit. So let me clear some of this stuff off and we'll get started. Alright, so for these first steps, I'm supposed to Okay guys, for the first steps, Estes is calling for us to assemble the engine mount. So I'm gonna go ahead and open this up and get everything that we need to assemble the engine mount. Now on all new builds, you always want to have your good sharp blade. On every one of my builds, I try to switch the blade and make sure I have a real good sharp one. So we're gonna start out with this guy. Set this to the side. And I also need this engine hook. This one has a little indentation. This is for the spacing for the engine hook. Alright, so let's start out by doing some marking. So we'll need a ruler and a pencil for this. Alright, so from the end of the tube, we're supposed to make, let's see, 6.3 millimeters. A mark there. Let's see if I can hold this right. So 6.3, I can barely see that. I need my glasses. It's gonna be about right there. Then the second mark is 1 inch. So we'll go 1 inch and mark that. Make sure I'm keeping this in the camera. It's gonna be about right there. And then the last mark, 2.5 inches. That's gonna be right there. Alright, so we got our 3 marks saying use a hobby knife and cut an 8-inch slit. That's gonna be this one right here. Oh my goodness, this knife is... There we go. This knife was ejecting back on me. Alright, so after measuring and making our slit off of the engine mount tube, now it's time to place our hook and glue in our retainer. So I'm gonna go ahead and pre-slide this on. Get it close to the mark. Now I'm gonna take a little bit of Titebond. Just gonna dab it right there. Use my finger, spread it around. Then I'm gonna go ahead and slide this ring up to our mark. Right there. Now I don't try to be perfect with this or nothing. It's just to hold this down to give it a little spring action. That's all it does. Alright, the next one is going to be this ring right here. Now this one will go flush at the end. So what I'm going to do is bring it up some. Right there. Do the same thing. Add a little Titebond. Take my finger, spread it around. And I'm gonna actually sit this down and push it down just like that. Now we got a little glue on our cutting board, but that's flush right there. And the last ring is gonna go right here at our first mark. I don't know if you could see it, but it's gonna sit about right there. So I'm gonna pull it down some. Same thing again. A little Titebond. Don't take much. Plus, I'm gonna also come back and do fillets around it because you want a nice strong connection on these. So I'm gonna set this to the side, let this set. Then I'm gonna come back, I'm gonna do fillets on both sides of both of these rings. I'm still gonna do that. And then I'm gonna install the end of the block. Well, we can do that now. Go ahead and do that. Now let's get dry together. Alrighty. I'm gonna set that to the side, let that dry, and move on to the next step. Alright, in this next step, we're prepping the fins. Now, I'm gonna go through the fins, get them off the balsa and everything. Then go ahead and glue them together. The sanding, I'm gonna do off camera. I know you guys don't want to sit back and watch me sand fins all day, but here on the instructions, Estes wants you to round the leading edge. So I'll give you an example of that when we get to that part. But let's go ahead and get these fins off the balsa. So where did I do with my knife? Right here. So you want to run your X-Acto knife across these little tabs to release the fins. first one. Got number 2. Now we got a longer fence. And these fins are a lot thicker than those. And on the kit, this, I say it's an intermediate kit, and I can guarantee you it got that label because of these fins. I can guarantee you that. So overall, this is like a very, very standard build. Let's go ahead and pop these while we at it. And don't throw away your scrap balsa wood. Like when I was doing that engine mount tool right here, you could take that plywood, put some glue, and dab it in there, and you don't have to use your finger like I did. Always good practice to hold on to that stuff. Okay. See, that didn't release. Wouldn't release while I'm on camera, right? Alright, yeah. Let's get this side again. There we go. There you guys, last two fans. Alright, so now that you got all your fins out, what I like to do is put them all together, facing the same way, and then sand all this flush till all the fins look like this, have that shade of color. You want to get all these imperfections off. Then I'm gonna do that part off camera for every last one of them, and then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna show you how to put the fins together. Alright guys, so by now I told you I was gonna sand the fins off camera. So these are balsa wood, real thin. Now Estes in the instructions want you to curve this over. Now what I did it all by hand, kind of gave it a light sanding, took the edges off and left it at that. I didn't want to risk breaking it. Same thing with these. You can see from the back end it has a slight curve on the leading edge, and I did that all the way down to the point. But the farther you get down here, you want to kind of ease up on the sand, because like I say, this is real thin and you risk snapping it. So I did that to both sets of the fins. I also did fillets around the engine mount. Did that off camera. So we're all set now to start working on the body tube. So I'm gonna set all this aside and let's get this out the way so we have some space. And we're gonna get our body tube out. Now I have this marking guide that comes from Estes. Pretty handy for making straight lines. And this is our marking guide. Now, if you want to save your instructions, I suggest making a copy and then cutting this out. I did not save mine. I just went on and cut it. I don't plan on keeping the instructions on this, and plus I have another one. And you're gonna need some tape so we can tape this on. So let me get this tape started. Okay. Now I'm gonna get a piece of tape, a small piece, nothing much. And I'm gonna stick it right here. Now let's grab this body tube and let's wrap this around. It's kind of hard to get that on camera. You want to line those little tick marks up right there, and then get your tape and tape it down. Now in the instructions, this guide should be at the end right here, because we're also going to make a mark going all the way around the tube for this bottom ring that's going to be on there also. So I'm going to sit this in the guide. Let me try this one right here. And I'm going to start out by making my tick marks. So we got one there, one here, 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 and And I hope y'all can see this. It's kind of hard working. I'm working at an angle sitting next to the camera. Still a rookie at trying to set the camera, get the right angles on the camera. And I'm just gonna make a mark going all the way around. Alright, like so. And we'll pull this off and use the guide now. And we're gonna mark our lines. Let's see what's gonna be the best way to do this. Yeah, could do it like that. So basically with this guide, let me see if I can use my right hand. I'm gonna come off this mark. And I'm gonna go all the way up the body tube. And do that for each one. Last one. Alright, let's double check, make sure we in this one. Okay, look like we got them all. Alright, so let's get this out the way. Got a body tube mark. Now the next step is we're going to install our fins and the engine mount. Okay, so with these fins, it's such a tight fit. I'm gonna do these one at a time, actually let them dry, and go ahead and do the fillet on each one, because like once I lay this fin down and then the next one, it's gonna be real hard for me to get my finger in there. So I'm gonna be patient with this and do them, like I say, one at a time. So first I'm gonna use some Tite Bond, real thin coat. I'm not trying to be perfect on this. I just want to get enough on here that I'm gonna take my finger and I'm gonna smooth over. Just kind of thin it out. You don't want too much. Alright, wipe that off from the towel. And what I'm gonna do on this first mark, I'm not gonna place it actually on the line. I'm gonna come off to the side. I don't know if you can see that. Let's see if I can do it right here. And I'm gonna place it down right alongside that marking. See if I can line it up. Okay. Got it down. Now I'm gonna pull it off. I'm gonna wait a second. Get that glue time to tack up. And then once it tacks up, say about 30 seconds to a minute. When I put it on, put the fin back on there, it should have a real nice grab. And it should be, you know, pretty stable. I'm gonna do that to each one of the fins after I do the fillet on each one. So it's been about, I'd say close to 30 seconds, close enough. I'm gonna go ahead and put this back on. Now we want this back edge to come right to this line right here. So stick that down like so. You see it's already grabbing. Now let's make sure we get this aligned alongside our line like so, just like that. Now I'm gonna give that some time to dry, stiffen up real good, and then I'm gonna come back, do fillets, and then move on to the next fan. Repeat this for each line. The next line would be the thin fans, these right here. So these are actually come all the way down to the bottom, and then your big fan, then rotate until you get them all on there. It's 8 in total. We'll be right back. Alright guys, so by now you should have all your fans mounted on the rocket, aligned properly. You should have your fillets on all edges. Now this part, we're gonna install the engine mount tube. So according to the instructions, we want you to measure up about 2 inches. Spread some glue on the inside. Mount this. Now they want it flush with this green ring. Now I'm gonna deviate a little bit. I'm not gonna go flush with the ring because me personally, I don't like that edge sticking out. So I'm gonna go flush with the tube like that, and you still, be able to get your engine out. But I don't want this hook. When I stand up the rocket, I don't want this hook touching the ground. So we got a clean fit right there. So basically, I'm gonna take this little piece of scrap balsa. I'm gonna put some tight bond on it, and I'm gonna spread the glue around, and we're gonna get that engine mount tube mounted. So let's get that done right now, and then we'll move on to the next steps. So just got a little drop right there. Start out with a small drop. Now you can measure this 2 inches. I'm just gonna eyeball it. 2 inches isn't that far up. So in fact, might be easier just to pull a little bit in here. Like so. And I'm gonna take this stick and spread it around. You want a good solid bond on your engine mount tube. I mean, it's a very important part right here. You don't want to fly your rocket and this thing goes shooting out. Then you're really gonna have problems. So spread this around evenly all around the inside, and we're gonna have a nice solid connection. All right, like that. Now I'm gonna take this and insert it in, twisting as I go. And I'm gonna take my ruler, push it till it's flat, just like so. Now we're flush at the end. And we're gonna sit that to the side, and we're gonna let it dry. That's simple. Now, the next part of the instructions, they want you to mount these rings. These rings, you have one that goes here, and the other one goes down here at the bottom. Okay, I'm gonna deviate away from the instructions and not install these rings just yet. What I would like to do is go ahead and start the painting process. I want to get it all primed up and paint it before I install these. That way I'm not fighting against myself trying to get paint on the backside of this ring. It's better to, in my opinion, to do it while it's off. So the colors that they call for, this right here is a silver metallic paint. Then you're going to double back and paint it a transparent blue. Now the nose cone and the two rings, they call for silver metallic. No transparent on it. So basically I'm gonna have quite a few coats on here. I'm gonna have a primer layer. I'm gonna have a base white layer. And then I'm gonna paint it silver metallic. I'm gonna do 2 coats of that. 1 light coat and 1 standard coat. And then 2 coats of the transparent blue. Now I'll come back each stage and let you see the primer stage. Each stage that I go, but I'm not gonna bore you with me painting and waiting on it to dry and all that. But we'll do each stage until we have a complete paint job, and then we'll come back and mount the launch lugs. The launch lugs and the parachute, and we'll wrap this build up. All right, so I'll see you shortly after the primer stage. All right, guys, I got the primer on. Let me explain what I did. So when I came out from the last clip you saw, I sprayed the entire rocket with a flat white as a base. Then I let that dry. I let it dry overnight. Came back the next day, sanded it down, got it real good and smooth. And then I took a filler primer and I primed the entire rocket over that flat base. Now what you see here is the primer. I already sanded it down. It is now ready for the next step for paint. And I'm gonna do 2 coats of the what color? I forgot. Oh, the metallic silver. The entire rocket will be painted metallic silver. And once that's done and dry, I will come back and we'll go over the next steps. Alright, guys. I am having technical difficulties, but last time you saw this rocket, I had just completed the primer stage and the base stage, and I prepped it and sanded it. And I told you guys we was gonna paint the entire rocket metallic silver. Well, I did that, and luckily I had uploaded these files to my computer, and come to find out we had some corrupt files. So what you're not looking at is the complete Starlight build. But with that being said, let me catch you up on what I did, based on the files that was corrupt. So painted the entire rocket metallic silver, let that dry, I'll say a good 24 hours. I did not sand. I put 1 coat on, a real nice coat, and it laid down perfectly. After that, I took the nose cone off, and these 2 rings were already to the side, so that's their final color. And I painted the whole entire rocket a transparent blue. Now I did 3 coats of this. This was my first time playing with transparent paint, and it's a little wonky, but the overall finished product came out looking pretty darn good. Real nice gloss look to it. But for the rings, what I did, the instructions call for you to put them on before painting. I decided to paint them separately, and what I did was I put some glue off in this little curved syringe and basically just made little fillets on the insides all around the rocket. And on this bottom one, I did the same thing, but I did 4 sides, and then I turned the ring so it'll smear up under the top edge of the ring. Now, for the shock cord, I did not use the shock cord that came in the kit. I did go with Kevlar, and I did not install the parachute. I plan on running a nylon parachute with this rocket. So overall, real nice kit. I would say the hardest part would be the fins, getting them lined up, and trying to get your fillets in between here. If you have big fingers, it's a tight space. You might want to use, I don't know, maybe a popsicle stick or something to smooth it out. But I end up getting it with my pinky finger. And I think it's a real nice build. I mean, you guys hopefully will see it in the air real soon. We've been having real bad weather here in Dallas. I mean, this whole month has been a mess. And the club that I'm part of, the DARS, Dallas Area Rocket Society, we only lunch twice a month. And my two opportunities were just, it was bad. We had thunderstorms both weekends. Matter of fact, 3 weekends in a row. And my last opportunity to launch was this past weekend, but couldn't do it then because my daughter graduated from high school, so I had graduation to go to. Proud dad moment. But this wraps it up. Hopefully you guys will see this one at the pad at our next launch. Alright, thanks for stopping by. You guys have a blessed one.